Sometimes I wake up in the morning and feel this strange heaviness inside me, like I know I have dreams and goals waiting for me somewhere in the future, but my energy refuses to move toward them, and I keep wondering how people stay motivated every single day without feeling lost or tired the way I do.
I feel that too, and for a long time I thought motivation was something magical that confident people were born with. But slowly I realized that motivation doesn't arrive first like a gift, it actually grows after we start taking small actions, even when our mind keeps telling us to wait for the perfect mood at the right time.
That's interesting, because I always thought motivation should come before action, like I should feel inspired and excited first, and only then I would work hard, but maybe that's why I keep delaying things and blaming myself for being lazy when actually I'm just waiting for a feeling that may never arrive.
Exactly, and what helped me was understanding that motivation is more like a muscle than a spark, because the more you use it through discipline and consistency, the stronger it becomes, even on days when you feel bored, tired, or unsure about your abilities.
But how do you even start when your mind is full of doubts and comparisons, when you keep looking at others who seem more successful and confident, and you feel like whatever effort you make won't be enough to change your situation?
I used to compare myself a lot too, until I learned that comparison steals motivation faster than failure ever could, so I started focusing only on my own progress, even if it was small, because improving 1% every day slowly builds confidence, and confidence quietly fuels motivation.
I like that idea, because it feels kinder and more realistic, especially when life already puts enough pressure on us, but still, there are days when fear takes over, fear of failing, fear of wasting time, and fear of disappointing people who expect something from me.
Fear is powerful, but it can be redirected if you change the question in your mind, because instead of asking, "What if I fail?" you can ask, "What if I never try and stay stuck exactly where I am?" And that thought alone can push you to take at least one brave step forward.
That makes sense, and I realize now that motivation is deeply connected to purpose, because when I clearly remember why I started something and how it connects to my future self, the resistance inside me slowly becomes weaker.
Purpose is like fuel, and without it, motivation runs out quickly, which is why writing down your reasons, your dreams, and even your frustrations can help, because when your mind forgets, your written words can remind you of what truly matters.
I've never tried writing my goals seriously, but maybe seeing them on paper would make them feel more real and closer, instead of just floating thoughts that disappear whenever I feel tired or distracted.
It definitely helps, and another thing that changed my mindset was learning to celebrate small wins. Because motivation doesn't grow from waiting for big success, it grows when you acknowledge that showing up, even for a short time, is already a victory.
I think I've been too harsh on myself, expecting perfection from the beginning, and when I couldn't meet those high standards, I lost motivation and gave up, instead of adjusting my expectations and continuing slowly.
Being kind to yourself is actually a powerful motivation strategy, because when your inner voice encourages you instead of criticizing you, you feel safer to try again, fail again, and still keep moving forward without losing hope.
I'm starting to understand that motivation isn't about constant excitement, but about commitment, patience, and trust in the process, even when results are not immediately visible.
That's a very important realization, because most people quit not because they are incapable, but because they don't see instant results, and they forget that growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface, before it becomes visible.
So motivation is really about building habits, protecting your mindset, and choosing to move forward even on ordinary days, not just on days when you feel inspired.
Yes, and once you accept that motivation will rise and fall, you stop fighting yourself and start working with your emotions, using discipline on low days and passion on high days.
I feel lighter after talking about this, because now motivation doesn't feel like an impossible mystery anymore, but something I can slowly build with awareness and effort.
I'm glad, because the truth is, you don't need to become a completely different person to become motivated. You just need to take one honest step today, and then another tomorrow, trusting that consistency will eventually create the motivation you are searching for.
Then I'll start small, without waiting for the perfect moment, and remind myself that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress.
And that mindset alone is already a strong beginning, because motivation always follows those who choose to begin.